Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. For those that are new, my name is Nelly. This channel is all about dreams, lifestyle, spiritual minimalism, and faith. Please make sure you like and subscribe and turn on that bell notification so that you can be notified whenever there's a new video. And thanks for those that subscribe. It's really helping the channel. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Today's story is about Abigail, who was married to Nabal. Nabal was this guy who was very rich. He had so many things and he was very arrogant. And he was also a toxic man. Now, this is a man who's so full of himself. He's self-centered. He's a drunkard, and the list goes on. Nothing nice is said about him. You know, when sometimes you're married to a man like this, you learn to understand that person. Sometimes women find themselves married to a man like this. Not that they want to marry men like this. It's like their marriage is rearranged by their parents and they find themselves married to a man like this. We see Abigail in this wicked, toxic relationship. Maybe she was happy or maybe she wasn't. We don't know. But today we're just looking at this phenomenal woman called Abigail. She stayed in this difficult relationship with this difficult man. But whether you're married to a toxic man or you're married to a narcissist, at the end of the day, it makes you stronger. She was a woman that understood him. This man was a self-centered man. He loved himself. It was all about him. He was a narcissist. In the book of 1 Samuel, verse 25, we see David sending his men to Nabal because he heard that Nabal was sharing his sheep. So he sent 10 of his men to go and ask for a liquor contribution from David, because while David's men were there in the wilderness, so he also protect them. This was the time when it was a festive season, and he was just asking for a liquor contribution. And you know what Nabal did? He was like asking so arrogantly, who is this David? Like he didn't know who David was. Why should I share my things with him? So David's messengers, they returned empty-handed. They went back to David and told David what he had said. David got so angry, he just said, now everyone take your swords and we're just going to attack. So he took 400 of his men and 200 stayed behind. Now seriously, would you really take 400 men just to kill one man or one family? But anyway, he knew why he needed those 400 men. Even David himself, I could also say he was just this hot-tempered man. So disaster was about to strike in Nabal's home. One of the servants quickly went and told Abigail what had happened. Now he also told them how David's men were good to them. Now because they knew how Nabal was and how their master was, they quickly had to warn Abigail. Now as a woman, you know your hubby. She had to think fast. She had to diffuse the situation. She packed 200 loaves of bread, 2 barrels of wine, and 5 dressed sheep, grain of rice, fish cakes, and a lot of stuff. She packed these things in 2 donkeys. I'm sure there was a lot of kitchen stuff in there to actually bake 200 loaves of bread. It seems like it was a big community to actually have 200 loaves of bread. When she did all that, she didn't even tell the husband, and she told the staff, okay, go ahead with these things. I will follow you. I'm right behind you. That shows that she was very kind, fearless, and she had the strong character. So a lot of women find themselves in this situation because they know the type of husband they're married to. Sometimes as a wife, when you're married to a wicked man, like a toxic man like Nabal, you're the only one that can diffuse the situation because you know your husband. The servants were very scared of him. The servants couldn't even speak to him. They found it easier to speak to Abigail. Abigail had to make a decision to save her household. She had to think fast. She and her husband had different characters. She didn't go screaming to the husband and telling him, look what you've done. You see, we're being attacked because of your stupid deeds. She didn't go and do that. She silently diffused the situation. She didn't find fault, but she dealt with the situation on her own. She came riding in a donkey in the mountains, and when she saw David, she quickly got out of it, bowed down on her knees and apologized. Please pay no attention to this wicked man. Please forgive us. He acted foolishly like his name. He's just like his name. His name means fool, and fool follows him. She offered those gifts to him, and that diffused the situation. Now, how many of you women would actually do that? You'll probably scream at your husband first before you diffuse the situation. She understood that what type of man she's married to. So when Abigail got home, he found Nabal hosting a party, and he was so drunk and acting like a king. And she said nothing. When he was sober the following day, she told him, and his heart failed him like a stone. After 10 days he died. David heard about Nabal's death, and he later sent men to Abigail, proposing her to become his wife. And Abigail agreed, and they got married. So David married Abigail because she knew that she was going to be a good wife, and she would also be able to discern when there's disaster strikes. Abigail had so much wisdom, and what I love about her, that even though she was put on the spot, she didn't go screaming at the husband. She had to find a plan B to diffuse the situation. She took upon herself to deal with the situation silently. When you are in a toxic relationship, you become wiser, because this person that you're married to doesn't care. It's all about himself. When it comes to Nabal, it was me, myself, and I. So when you're married to a person like that, you need to be generous and you need to be wise. And he was a very stingy man. That is why even his servants never spoke to the master. They preferred to speak to Abigail, because maybe Abigail was the understanding one. Sometimes as a woman, you need to protect your husband and your family for his fault. She knew her husband's mistakes, so she did what she felt it was right. When we look at her character, she was always thinking about others. Sometimes we're faced with difficult situations in marriage, but we have to live with the person that we've chosen. God sees that, and He will always carry you through. Being in a toxic relationship makes you stronger, and God sees that. Thank you for watching. If you like the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you on the next video.